So the reason I'm sitting like this, I'm wondering whether I have the capacity to tell this conversation in a way that you'll understand. Do you remember when the KCSE results came out in 2016 and it was very shocking to find out how many girls were at the top and everybody, had this meltdown? And then the usual nonsense started. This is what happened when there's been no attention paid to the boy child. I hear you. But let me tell you how this works. And it comes back to parenting and the narrative. Let me get the parenting out of the way. We need to put as much pressure on our sons as we've exerted on our daughters over the last 20 years. And by the way, I say this as a mother who won't let my daughter quibble. I'm very clear that I expect excellence from you, and she is aware, okay? I don't think we are pushing our sons hard enough. And it's not the education system, it's at home. Because half the drama to be more, to excel, comes from your parents. It's as simple as that. It comes from the family unit. So let me get that out of the way. If you want to have a conversation about the boy child, if you scroll through my YouTube channel, you'll see that I did a series of videos on it. Please bring them up again. Let's talk about it. But let me tell you where I believe the problem lies. It's in the narrative. And it's a media narrative and it's a social narrative. In the last 10 years, and I can't speak for the rest of the world, but in Kenya, we have burst the bubble of the young man, because every man he looked up to has turned out to be a colossal disappointment. Colossal. You think about it and you look through the headlines in the last 10 years, whether that man was a captain of industry, whether that man was a lawyer of note, whether that man was a politician, a pastor, that man is not only flawed, he's grotesquely tainted. And when you're a young man, and these are the people you were looking up to, and that is sliced and destroyed, what do you want him to aspire to be? It was all smoke and mirrors. It was all a lie. It was all a hoax. So before you start screaming that 2 decades have been spent on the girl child, I need to ask you, what's the narrative a young man has today of any person he has held in high esteem? From his father, to his uncles, to the politicians, pastors, businessmen, entrepreneurs who are not necessarily tenderpreneurs. In the last 10 years, the narrative in media and in society has completely killed the aspirations of a young man. Why should he break his back? Why should he be upstanding? Why should he be hustling when everybody he admires is a thug and a thief? Why should he? We need to purpose to change the narrative for our young men, because you must remember the narrative and the visual for a lot of young women means you can be, and we're seeing it everywhere. Every year we celebrate a lot of top 40 under 40 women. We don't give as much credit to the top 40 under 40 men. And let me put it this way. For the top 40 under 40 women, I nominated and voted for 3. For the top 40 under 40 men, I nominated and voted for 10. But how much space was given to those guys? Guys were actually trying to do it right. This isn't about the fact that 20 years has been spent on the girl child. It's the fact that in the last 10 years, we've killed the dreams and aspirations of a generation of young men. What's the point when every person they admire, and I'm going to say it honestly, is a thug, a thief, and a no-do-gooder? When we start painting positive images for our sons, they will start having something to live up to. Right now, guys, we failed them. And it's not the women of society and the world that have failed them. It is the men. Stop being honest about it. And let's change the narrative. Otherwise, we'll be having this conversation about young boys for a very long time. Kazi Queen.